The Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe is almost at 30 million views. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
But if there was a God, what would he think about you if you did that? I'm saying let's say, for example, that God is real.
Yes.
Okay? And let's say he be looking at what you do.
Yes.
What would he say if you did that?
He said, that Katt, that's a very kind gesture. That's very generous of you.
Man, I remember when it was 15 million, I was like, wow, this is an amazing number. And now it's almost double that. So what I want to do in this video is a little something different though, man, because unfortunately, as we celebrate our brother for doing this thing, Shannon Sharpe, for creating a platform that's now becoming an amazing pillar, right, has become something that's going to be a reckoning. But what I want to address in this video, folks, I want to address the fact that there's some people that are focused on the wrong part of this. Yeah, now I knew it was going to happen. I knew we were going to have a lot of people that were coming out the woodwork, pissed off. Now, I understand if you're somebody who got called out. If you're Ricky Smiley, Kevin Hart, Ludacris, Faison Love, Cedric the Entertainer, I understand if you've been pissed off. You know what I'm saying? If you Chris Tucker and someone's talking about Epstein Island, you're like, uh-oh. You might feel a certain kind of way about this, okay? And I get that. We got people that won't even mention that are upset, trying to say a little something. We're going to get to them later. There was so much positivity in the Katt Williams conversation with Shannon Sharpe that anybody that focuses solely on who shot Paul, what was said about Cedric or Faison Love, and then those people that are coming out the woodwork whose names weren't even mentioned, who got to have something to say, like Eric Spears. Sit down, man. It takes away from reality. Here's the deal, guys. Katt Williams breaks down how he treats people that work with him, how he treats the 46 different comedians that he's took on tour with him.
Right. When you're good at something, you should progress. The guys that are not as good, they should fall down by the wayside. That's natural.
So you believe if your talent doesn't support it, you should fall by the wayside, and the guys that have the talent and that get elevated, they should move.
No, that's what water says. That's what the universe say. The universe say the levels. No, not I say. Who am I? I'm nobody. But I'm working every day as if I think that's what
should happen.
Is how it should be. And I'm choosing comedians that also write and work hard and don't steal other people's material. And I'm making sure that they all make $300,000 a season. And I'm making sure that they're not ever signed to me or my conglomerate. And that's why they're successful. No, you can work with me and still be an independent businessman, boss owner like you came in.
Right.
I don't need you to be subservient to me. That's those other guys that make you pay dues.
Now, how many of us have had people do things for us, but then they hold it over your head? Or people that do things for you, and then they act a certain kind of way, like you owe them your firstborn child. Or people that have done anything for you, and then they throw it in your face later. They say something about it in front of other people, or worse than worse. Have you ever had somebody do something for you or not do something for you? Somebody they know did something for you, and then they want to somehow call you out because somebody else did something for you? It's crazy. So what I'm saying is, what Katt Williams did right here, if this is true, and I have no reason not to believe it's true, because there is supporting documentation for it, I want to say that Katt Williams deserves our support. He's on another level when it comes to helping others. This should have been something that was focused on. So we got people that are coming out saying, oh, look at all this drama. Look at all the drama. I can't stand how my people always beef, and this is just beef, 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 beef. We don't need this. That's because that's all you focusing on. You're not focusing on the fact that Katt Williams helps people. What about what Deion Cole said about Katt Williams? Right here.
The next question.
The Amigos. Do you help them get out of financial situation?
I don't think we ever, as a nation, can remember a time that the Amigos were financially unsuccessful. So for the record, I would assume that they've never needed Katt Williams' financial assistance for anything. I'm sure that between QC, the label, and other things, they were taken care of. On the other hand, if I was given the opportunity to help them, would I? Of course I would. That's what I do. I'm a pro-black non-racist. Like, I really, really love black people, but I don't love them more than other people. I love everybody. I'm a black guy, and I try to stick with that. But yeah, I'm not one of those pillow talkers either. Like, when I do something good, I'm really not doing it for the gram. It's not for any of that. I'm just doing it because it's good to do.
I appreciate that. I don't know if this is true, but I did read that comedians on your show say that women sometimes would bring them money and not say where it came from.
Yo, I was just sitting here thinking, and do me a favor. Anybody that do interviews or anybody know him, Katt Williams, if you're ever around him, ask him, how much money has he given away? Just given away. Like, just ask him that. Just be like, how much money have you given away? If you're around him, if you're interviewing him, just ask him. Because it has to be insane. Katt is one of the most generous people that you ever gonna meet. And a lot of people don't know that. He don't get a lot of press and love for that. One of the most generous ever. He's had to have given away, I don't even know the number, it has to be crazy. Because there's a lot of people with stories about him giving money to. Case in point, I remember I was at the Comedy Store performing one night, got off stage, and this was like early on, before really a whole bunch of stuff was happening for me. I get off stage and everybody like, man, good set. So many people saying that. Some girl came and put something in my hand and said, good set, but I didn't see her. I just heard her, and she walked off. And I thought it was like a phone number in my hand. And when everybody walked away and stuff, I looked in my hand, and it was $1,000. And then I looked out in the audience trying to find the girl, and I'm like, man, I can't remember her face, and I couldn't see her, and I was just like, who gave me $1,000? But anyway, I just was like, wow. And later on, about a month later, somebody told me that happened to them, and they said Katt Williams was in the audience. And I put two and two together and was like, wow, he did that to me then. He never tell you, he never makes it known or any of that. So if you're ever around him, ask him. If you're ever around him, ask him, how much money have you just given away? And I bet the number is astronomical. Ask him.
Say that again?
Comedians would say women would bring them money and not say where it came from.
Right. So I'm not a feminist like a feminist would be, but I do believe that that in my camp, like if I had 35 people in my camp, right? I believe that other than 4 jobs, I believe that a woman is better at any of them jobs than any man could be.
Okay.
So 10 of these jobs, no man can work because I'd rather a female be there. If I gotta smell anybody's breath, I want it to be hers. I don't want none of you crusty. So what I'm saying is, if in a staffing issue, I'm gonna have 75% women just because I prefer them. Right. I don't prefer to hear 2 guys talking in the corner. I prefer to hear 2 ladies talking in the corner. I don't care what they're talking about. I just prefer that. So a lot of times I will utilize ladies to convey a message. If a comedian is doing a great job somewhere in the country, he just did a masterful set and nobody's gonna pay him. They just clapping. And I know he's broke as shit back there. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody just showed up and gave him a little blessing? And he didn't have to suck me off for it. And thanks, Katt. And boy, I really needed it. Why would you do that? If you was actually just trying to help people, you would. People know that's how I pay my tithes. If I got paid $100,000 to be at your city, I'm gonna take 10,000 of that and put it in your homeless area.
You ever been down to your last dollar and somebody who has no obligation to do anything for you steps up and does something for you? Then they don't hold it over your head. They don't lord it over you. They don't do it for the gram, or they don't do it for their friends, or they don't do it for their mama, or they don't do it to sleep with your friend or try to get at this or get at that. They did it because they were in a position to do it, and they wanted to do something that was helpful for you because you're a human being and they're a human being and they cared about you. Maybe they want to pay it back or pay it forward or whatever, but there's nothing they're expecting you to do. I mean, I'm semi in the business, but I'm sure people that are in the business know exactly what I'm talking about. Katt Williams ain't expecting that. He wasn't expecting that with Deion Cole. Then I saw that Boozy Badass said the same thing. Boozy Badass said he came home from jail and Katt Williams gave him $15,000, no strings attached, just gave it to him. Just threw it in his car and kept it moving. And hasn't talked to him since. Not only did he not publicize it, not only did he not stick around for a thank you very much, he ain't been back since to say, hey, remember that time? Remember that time? I had somebody give me $5 once. There are people that would buy you a beer and hold it over your head. Remember that time we had drinks, I bought you a beer? What I'm saying is, it's all about what you focus on. And there have been a lot of people that say, Tim Black, why are you covering Katt Williams? You cover political content. I'm a black man. I cover what's important to my people. I cover politics, but I also cover culture. I cover us. How can I cover black politics without covering black people, what matters to black people? Because that's part of the politics. It's more than just a guy calling out Cedric the Entertainer for a joke from 25 years ago. There's an ethics to this. I'm not saying if you Cedric the Entertainer, you don't feel a certain kind of way about this and you have a rebuttal. And I heard Cedric's rebuttal. I'm not saying Steve Harvey doesn't have a rebuttal. I'm not saying that, well, Ludacris, his rebuttal was garbage. I mean, come on, Ludacris. Nobody, he took this moment to go spit 16 bars or whatever it was, 10 bars or whatever. Come on, man. Kevin Hart, he tried to act above it. And instead of addressing what was said or not saying anything, he decided to promote his latest venture. Sounded a little Kanye West-ish. But okay, fine. Really, actually, it wasn't fine, but okay. Here's the deal, guys. If we keep doing the same old stuff that we've been doing, we're going to get the same results. And I think we need to be better stewards of our platforms and of our personalities, of our status, and realize we got more to offer. So I like the fact that Katt Williams not just offered us conversation, drama, intrigue, behind the scenes, breadcrumbs, truth, his truth, but he also offered us an insight. And that's why I give Shannon Sharpe so much props. Because Shannon Sharpe laid the foundation. He brought these questions up. And then Katt Williams so graciously responded. So I just want to point out that what we have here is a great opportunity for anybody out here who's telling truth. If you speak of truth to power right now, Katt Williams has opened the door for you to really kick the door down in 2024. I mean, Katt Williams, to put this in a Shannon Sharpe terminology, to put it in a football and NFL frame of reference here, Katt Williams just ran through the hole of the defense. And all you got to do is run behind him. You got some truth to power you want to speak? Katt Williams just made a hole. Run behind that hole. The touchdown is right up ahead. Yeah, I know some people are doubting it. Oh, Tim Black, why are you giving Katt Williams all these props? Because I watched the whole video. I didn't just hear him talk about Cedric or just talk about Steve. I heard him talk about Mel B more.
You're a very generous man, Katt. You are the sole sponsor of Mel B Moore getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You did all that on your own. Why? Do you have a personal relationship with Mel B?
No. I understood that she was a black woman in a time where it mattered what you look like, and they had a certain thing that they needed you to look like and act like in order to be successful.
Right.
And she just never did that. She wasn't tall enough. She wasn't fine. They didn't like her looks. They didn't like that her hair was natural. They talked crazy about her, and yet she still made all of these achievements. And I'm like, understand, I'm already in the Comedy Hall of Fame. I'm already going to heaven no matter what happens. If it ends in a second, I'm up there. So it gives me the leeway to do some things that are simply because it's the right thing to do. So the truth of the matter is they wanted to give me a star, but please don't consider me and this person been sitting on this list this whole time. And just because they ain't got enough money, they can't get their just due? That's crazy. When do you start? That's hurtful. What if somebody can't afford their flowers? You mean they don't get them? No, God don't operate like that. He would send a dummy like me to come and take care of that. Just so that the right thing happens. That's how the universe works. But because remember, what am I spending my money on? I'm not spending my money on strippers. I ain't spending them on drugs.
Why not?
Did you hear this part? Katt Williams helped Mel B Moore get her star on the Walk of Fame. Her star on the Walk of Fame don't say sponsored by Katt Williams. It don't say thanks, Katt, for doing this for me. It says Mel B Moore. You ever been there? It just says the name of the star. Katt did it because he thought it was the right thing to do. You know, it's very few people. And there's very few people going to do things just because it's the right thing to do. And when you see that happen, you should support it and applaud it. Now, I see it's us focusing on what did he say about Ludacris? What did he say? What did he say? Why didn't he talk about me? Why he bring this up? Why he bring that? There's people that he didn't even bring up who got something negative to say. Name not even mentioned. That's probably why they bring it. That's probably why they're talking. They're mad. Why aren't you talking about the positive shit? Why aren't you bringing up the points that are actually constructive? Now, we like drama, entertainment. All people do it. For the record, black people did not invent drama. We didn't invent reality TV. We did not invent the soap opera, did we? So stop saying, all we know how to do is have drama. All we know how to do is beef. I don't know what you're talking about. Why do you think so negatively about your own people? All people gravitate to conversations. People are interesting, and what happens to people is of interest to people. I know you would rather we be interested in trees and inanimate objects, but human beings are interested in other human beings, particularly human beings that are famous. Ain't no way around that. What's good to do, what I would suggest anybody who's frustrated by the conversation in Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe is to get in where you fit in and try to elucidate the conversation from your own point of view. My thing is, as a media person who talks about important issues, I want to point out that instead of people focusing on the positive in this, they want to focus on the negative and then complain about it when there was a lot of positivity in this interview, a lot of building blocks in this interview, a lot of gems were dropped in the interview, but people are not going there. People are not bringing it up. I'm not here to defend every word that came out of Katt Williams' mouth, but at least he had something to say. At least he stood on something. At least he stood for something. You know, what happened on Epstein's Island that he's talking about with these celebrities and what's going on in the back rooms of celebrities, what's happening in that culture is toxic, and it ain't good for us, and it's not good for our children, okay? So to call that out, I support that. And for the record, most of America does too, because most of America sees the toxic nature of that. It's hurting us, okay? It's definitely hurting those people that are trying to succeed and become victim of this using up of people that this machine does, okay? And calling that out 7 days a week or twice on Sunday sound good to me. What was that? What did Katt say about people calling out Ice Cube and saying Ice Cube didn't pay well enough? What did Katt say?
Look, I've had Cube, I've talked to Cube, and a lot of people say Cube doesn't pay. What's your relationship with Cube, and what did that opportunity mean for you?
Well, the ungrateful bastards that would say anything about Cube's payment, you shouldn't even talk to them anymore. Like, you don't go to Goodwill, you don't go to a Goodwill thrift store and go, look at all this cheap ass shit. Why don't you shut up? Why don't you shut up? You could have went to Hermes. Why you didn't go to Balenciaga? Why you didn't get a bowl to the Balmain? You want to have that conversation? Right. What you mean, the independent black dude who's filming it partly out of his fucking pocket? What you mean he didn't pay you enough? They weirdos. Weirdos that felt like they earned the opportunity because they were big. No, yeah. I understood.
That ain't no $200 million movie. Well, I mean, how much did you expect you was gonna make?
Well, I made enough to get them teeth fixed just like you did.
Yeah.
So I...
That's just truth, man. We're not always in a position to pay people the biggest salaries. But if you become a star in the black community, we don't throw you away that quickly. Yeah. You always have a place to hang your hat. That's what they don't tell you. The money might not be as big, but the love is bigger. Okay? So I like what Katt Williams had to say once again. I like this. And I want us to celebrate this humongous win. 2 years. Shannon Sharpe spent 2 years, his words, 2 years trying to line up schedules and get this interview done. Okay? That's called patience. And Shannon Sharpe is Shannon Sharpe. He's known all across the globe. He's a household name in most households, or many households, okay? He's famous. He's a celebrity. He's an all-pro, all-famer, football star, then ESPN or FS1, and now ESPN, right? And come on. And it took him 2 years to get Katt Williams. But he's hung in there. He interviewed a lot of other great people too. It's not the only interview. It's not like he waited for one interview. So all the other interviews he had led him to this point. All of it in the process. And damn it, we needed it. As a black media person, we needed it. I'm trying to tell you, man, I got nothing against Joe Rogan. None at all. I have nothing against Joe Rogan. But the more locations, the more platforms that welcome us, black folks, to those platforms, the better. Hey man, I'm not here to knock the circle jerk thing that's going on some of these platforms here, but it is what it is, man. Some of these platforms are real clicky. Real clicky. And if you ain't in the click, you done. You hear what I'm saying? So I like the fact that Shannon Sharpe these numbers are gonna materialize, hopefully, in the bigger and better things, not just for him, but for his platform, which is going to help not just him. Of course, it's going to help him, but others. Someone else needs to come up, and that's what's happening here. You know, because the media power has been focused on just a few platforms. Vlad TV, Joe Rogan, Joe Budden, you know? There's some others there, No Jumper. There's some other platforms. And, then we got the money platforms. Now I'm naming, I got to remember names. Now it's $1 million worth of game, and the new joint with Mace and my brother Cameron. Like, these platforms are huge. But this is important. And none of those platforms get smaller because Shannon Sharpe got bigger. Nobody's shrunk. There's room for everyone. And it's just inspiring. And the only thing I just hope this, man. Please, Shannon Sharpe, man, do not go into don't make your platform. Please consider. I can't tell a brother, man, grown-ass man what to do. I'm just hoping that Brother Sharpe will not become an instrument of the Democratic Party. Because I know that's what they're going to try to do. Do you be up there trying to be too nice? Because the only time I ever had any issue with Shannon, he was being too nice to Kamala. He was like calling us out for criticizing Kamala Harris. I thought that was wrong. Like, please, Shannon, don't turn into Charlemagne the God and start laying out the red carpet for the Democratic Party and pampering Biden and pampering Kamala Harris. Come on, man. They all suck. They're horrible. We need to fight back and push back and demand more of these politicians. And I just don't do it, Shannon. Mr. Sharpe, please don't do that. Don't become a throw pillow for the damn establishment. But if you stay righteous, my brother. Remember, Katt Williams said a vehicle for truth. Once people realize this is a place you can come to drop some truth in a safe place. But that's going to take heart and courage. Well, you had a heart to let them come up here and speak their truth to power. I know you could do it. You just did it. Let's see if you repeat. Let's repeat it, 30 million views. I'm going to call it. It's at 28 million right now. 30 million views, I say, before Monday morning. I can imagine him doing at least, Shannon Sharpe getting at least 2 more millions out of this on Sunday, which is today. This is, what time is it? 6. It's early, y'all. It's 7:30 on Sunday morning. Stop throwing hate at Katt Williams. Stop talking about black people we don't know how to get along. Last time I checked, Vin Diesel and The Rock couldn't stand each other. You realize they did a movie together? They hated each other so much, they had to use CGI, special effects, and body doubles because they didn't want to be in the same vicinity. That's how much Vin Diesel and The Rock can't stand each other. And no one talks about it. But when black people have any issues with each other, all I hear is, why can't we get along? Why come we can't? Like, as if white people don't have beef. As if white people don't have disagreements with one another. It's just that you don't consume their media, so you don't know. Stop acting like every issue in the world is only black people's issue. I got a feeling everybody wasn't happy with Adam Sandler only hooking his boys up. Some people had to hate. Everybody wasn't happy with that. You think everybody was happy with Chevy Chase and the SNL crowd? Yeah, I got a feeling there are cliques within white media, cliques within white comedy, cliques within white everything, just like there are cliques in black shit, okay? And Latino folks, Mexicans, Asians got their own. Everybody has, I'm pretty sure, competition for money. When money's on the table and there's competition, there's going to be competition. When opportunity is on the table, there's going to be competition. And there's going to be bullies. There's going to be people that take advantage of one another and the whole thing. Stop acting like everything negative, like black people done cornered the market on it. Have some respect for us. Put some respect on our name and on our culture. And you too can be like Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe. My name is Tim Black. Follow me at Real Tim Black right here. I'm everywhere you are. Remember, like I always say, don't you let nobody take your cornbread. When they say, wow, that Tim Black, I didn't even know his channel was there. That brother be dropping some gems. What up, bruh? It's a new day.